Part 2 of the LCR European Tour is ready to go here, of course, in the hills of Austria for a track that has been one of 8 staples of the calendar that has featured since the very beginning of this league, of course. And it is an absolutely beautiful racing circuit here in the hills of Austria, as I mentioned. 10 corners for the drivers to negotiate with a whopping 3 DRS activation zones for them to utilise, so plenty of opportunities for overtaking in the laps to come. But let's have a look. Of course, just a few minutes ago, we had a gripping and epic qualifying session, and here is your grid for it. Pole number 4 of the season for BRL Sira, just the thing that the doctor ordered after extending his challenger lead last week in France. Alongside him is his main championship antagonist of Titan Amaze, who starts from second, the Scotsman with another strong qualifying. Row 2 in the end goes to KJ Gamer, of course, at the victory back at the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, with a race winner here back in Season 4 on his very debut. The Greek of John Papp starts from 4th. Looking at row 3, we've got the Mercedes of VSR Dralex after disaster last week. He'll be able to improve after that, with Blitzen making it 3-6 on his return to Williams after the absolutely confusing mess that has been Williams transfer stories in the past couple of weeks. Jolly starts from 7th on row 4, with DTO Felipe making it 1-8 for the 2 Renaults. And finally, on row 5, it is an all-French row with VSR Antoine ahead of Shizu Crescito. And then row 6, outside the top 10 with fresh choice of tyres, VSR GC starts alongside the McLaren of LK as McLaren continue with their qualifying struggles. Row 7 goes ahead with LCR Mulder, who of course made his debut really and made sort of his first real impact back here at Austria a few seasons ago, with Shizu Vivid alongside him in P14. Row 8, surprisingly, and you wouldn't believe it I'm saying this, is Errol Tibble. Alongside him is Melanie 88. 2 drivers expected towards the front, but they start 15th and 16th this week. A lot of work ahead of them. Looking at row 9, we have Sims alongside Boris Letterbox, the reserve today. And then finally at the back on row 10, it is the 2 Ferraris with Apex out-qualifying his American teammate of Brad. But the drivers, of course, as you can see, are thick and fast on the formation lap. My name, of course, is LCR Nut Head. Alongside me, as per usual, is F1 Ben. Ben, pleasure to have you alongside me. And what about that qualifying? It was topsy-turvy stuff.
Well, Sira taking a 4th pole position is something that is, well, it's leopard quality when in LCR terms. Only really way to describe it. Great qualifying there from him. His antagonist, as you put it, amazing alongside him. That's getting really close. But shout out to John Papp as well. His best qualifying of the season up in P4. He looks like a possible dark horse this weekend. And Tibor down in 15th. Disappointing performance by him, but we've seen him come through the field twice this season already. We'll see if he can do it again.
Interesting titles by top 11 all on softs, and then outside the top 10 as well. Shizu Vivid for Racing Point and the Red Bull of Sims on the softs, with the back driver of Drizzle Revenge on the softs as well. Everyone else outside the top 10 on mediums. But the drivers are at the end of the formation lap. We're ready to go for the 5 red lights here in Austria. And of course, the mid-season requires crucial rounds, and this could very much be one just like that at one of the most raciest circuits of the calendar. It's built up towards the 5 red lights. 5 red lights, and LCR Season 8 is off in Austria, finally. Good start there from Maze. Not so good from Cyril on the front row. Looking further down as well. KJ getting a fairly mute start. John Papp is having a struggle against VSR. But down the inside goes Maze on Cyril. Couldn't quite get past, and now come the hill climb towards turn 3. Few cars over the back run, but everyone's still keeping fairly safe. Down towards 3. KJ is sort of beginning to attack now. Down towards turn 3, as you can see. John Papp has fallen behind VSR Dralex, and now Jolly's trying to go on the outside of the pair of them as well. Up towards turn 3. The top 3 remain the same. Jolly's still trying to find the way to the trans. Couldn't quite. There's John Papp as well. Off onto the grass and came contact with the wall to a bit of a line crash. It drops down the order. A highest qualifying has turned into a shambolic first lap for the Greek. Coming down towards 4, they come for the first time. It's still Cyril leads, Amaze second, KJ third, and Dralex holding on to 4th.
Well, disaster for John Papp. Great start by the top 3. But John Papp, it's just lag, unfortunately, it's took him out there. He went a little bit wide at turn 2 and then, well, turn 3. And got collected by Antoine, and everything just kind of concertinaed around the field. Tibor already up 3 places as well.
Yeah, he's indeed. That's just the start that he needed after the disastrous qualifying that he had. It wasn't even that bad of a lap, but it just goes to show how close this field is today, as Syrah leads the first lap away, but is nowhere near home and dry as he was at France. Only got 3 tenths ahead of him towards Amaze. These two, of course, squabbled at France, but really, Amaze didn't have an answer with them soft tyres compared to Syrah's mediums after that fantastic start that he got. Meanwhile, Dralex is having to go on the defensive against KJ coming towards turn 3. and the Brit bakes very late as possible as he can. Meanwhile, Sims and Mulder, the two teammate squads. In fact, that's actually also Vivid in the barrel. There's a bit of contact there as Mulder is shoves off. I believe that was Vivid, and now Boris going to get past the pair of them, I believe, coming down towards turn 4. This is a battle further down. Meanwhile, Blitzen went on the outside there of Jolly. Of course, he's the one hometown lad we got here today for Austria, trying to make the impact, of course, in front of his home crowd, battling away with the Toro Rosso. It makes his debut for the Toro Rosso. It's definitely not his debut full-time, though. Of course, Alpha Male last season. But so far, it's been quite a mute with the top 6, 7, really 8 so far, other than John, who had that disastrous start.
Oh, yeah, of course. Blitzen's got a little bit of lag, so we'll have to monitor that during the race. Actually got a penalty already. Makes a mistake, and now Antoine. This is okay. This is not TV. This is not PG. Guys, come on. Antoine gets through, but then providing not the best PG content. As your Blitzen's got a lot of lag. He's all over the place. Oh dear. Crescito now on the back of him. Two drivers together. Blitzen will get offensive. Crescito goes late on the brakes. Into the hairpin. He hits. Oh, he's hit Antoine.
Oh, he's hit Antoine.
Oh, he's hit Antoine. So Blitzen will take both places back. Yes, he does. But a little bit of late braking. There's just not this entire little group out of DRS of the group in front.
It's not what you need at all at a track which is such a DRS train, really. That's going to mean it's a big way back now to get back into that one.
Amazed.
Meanwhile, Amazed has just dropped 3 positions due to lag. Disaster.
Oh dear. Something tells me I've got panic mode. It's my internet. Yeah, Amazed is lagging a lot. So's Blitzen. In fact, Amazed has got a lot of lag here. He's dropping through the field like it's no tomorrow.
Goes down to 7th, and I spoke about this being mid-season points being the crucial rounds that the champions have won and lost. This could be one of them, because now he's fallen down the order. Blitzen and Amazed causing an absolute traffic jam behind as everyone's going to begin to get scrumbled up together. Meanwhile, the battle for second now continues. It was third, it's now come to second between KJ and Dralitz. Coming up towards turn 3, KJ does not have DRS. Yellow flag is sector 1. I believe it's John Patton Mulder that's gone off, but down towards turn 3. Dralitz thought about it.
Dralitz had a go. Yeah, it was contact between John Patton and Mulder. Mulder is now right at the back of the field. I think he's got extensive wing damage. Yes, he has. So it's basically his race over.
Dralitz. Down towards 4, it goes to the inside line of the final DRS, and they tries to squeeze him out up towards the hill. Now down towards turn 5, couldn't quite get past just yet. Now through towards 5 at the end of the second sector, couldn't quite find the way past, and Jolly still looks on. The Williams and Mercedes giving a right old battle. Of course, really the two big staples of LCR, those two teams currently putting on the fight for P2.
Well, certainly so. Just looking down the field, Melanie and Shizue Vivid having a little go. KJ picks up a penalty. Now, one thing to point out around this circuit is the penalties are a haven around here. You will get them. Basically, if you don't get them, you're a good driver. Don't be surprised if people end up with 6, 9 seconds of penalties here. There's a good exit here from Dralitz, sets himself up on it, and KJ will never go into the hairpin. Off turn 3, yes he does. KJ squeezes him a little bit, but it's not very extensive. Picking up penalties, Vivid gets one as there goes Dragons down the side and up back into second place. A good exit here, KJ could set him back up. You've got this slingshot effect almost. One guy goes through, the other guy can get it as well. KJ turns his DRS down, he's going to stay behind for now. Does go to the outside though. Gets a little bit loose. But okay, Dralitz makes the move back up into P2 now.
How did he find the space there? Because in my eyes, there's no room for space. Make sure how good these drivers are. Dralitz, pure mistake there on a turn 5. Coming down towards turn 6. KJ was on the inside. Probably thought better of it, really, there. In the end, probably thought, no, I'll just wait to the DRS zones. But a sign that Dralitz is not undefeatable here. So far, now KJ can stick with the DRS and potentially try him as well. But he's still got 2 very mean drivers behind him, of Jolly and Antoine, who are going to fancy the chances. Antoine kisses the back of Jolly there at the exit of turn 10. Now coming down towards the 6th flat they begin. That's gone very thick and fast, I have to say. Meanwhile, Dieter Felipe and VSR GC battling for the final point. But here comes Antoine, the inside of Jolly. Bit of contact. He saved the car just about, but that could have been absolute tears. Just managed to keep the car in one piece. And now, crucially, has dropped a bit back, and that's allowed Blitzen and Amazed back into this. And these two have sort of been squabbling away as well in their lag fest battle. As there's more contact between Blitzen and Amazed going up towards turn 3. And now Amazed is on the inside, travelling up towards 4. But of course, Blitzen also has DRS, so it's no real straight line speed advantage. Now coming down towards turn 4. Who's going to have the better of the nerves? It would, of course, be Blitzen. In fact, Blitzen's gone off. I think there was contact, a bit of lag contact, and Blitzen off. At the exit of turn 4, he falls down the order. Amazed goes up. And that is really one big issue with online racing: lag.
Well, yeah, we've already seen a drop out fourth of the field thanks to lag. And now Blitzen has to suffer the same fate, and that's just not what we wanted to see. That was a great battle forming between those two, and unfortunately it's ended in pretty much tears. Coming back up towards the field now. Antoine wants another crack at Jolly here, I think.
You get the feeling that it feels like he's been hard done by, and it was only one lap ago that he was dropping back, and now all of a sudden he's right back with it. Yellow flag in sector 3. That is for Blitzen, who's lost it again. Meanwhile, it's Boris as well, lost it at the exit of turn 1. Sorry, Sims, not Boris.
Yeah. How does he manage that? There's nobody with him. I assume he's just half spun. Blitzen's retired to the pit lane. Smart idea there from him. Tibor and GC going out of here over 10th place. Also, Crescito and LK side by side into turn 4. Pretty close, they back wheels. LK got off. Here comes DTO Felipe, the Brazilian now. Got to advantage, I think. Round the outside, yes he does. Felipe on 8th place.
Yeah, interestingly, LK there, the highest medium run. He's done a good job on that set of tyres, currently in P9, and sets him up really well for the rest of the race. Meanwhile, the soft runner still continuing to squabble at the front. As you can see, Syrah already 2.9 seconds clear, and you wonder, is this going to be another Syrah trademark so far, especially with his champion run struggling down in 6th. But meanwhile, into the pits come Trezu Crescito.
Early. Two-stop isn't really viable right here. I don't think he's got wing damage. Immediate hard. This is early.
Ooh. So maybe thinking about just getting ahead of the traffic, doing the undercut and then just ultimately parking the bus for the next, how long laps we'll have left when these drivers pit, because we are sort of getting in towards the first pit window, but you are right, it's still 3 or 4 laps early for people to change their mediums.
Well, yeah. Just looking around, I can't really see anything else up and down the field. KJ still very close to the back of Drylix, but probably just staying behind right now, trying to save some ERS. It's a very ERS taxing track unless you're in the DRS. At which point you're basically fine.
It's a massive straight line speed circuit that often at times, you look at Amaze, he's currently isolated because he's got 1.8 seconds to the pack ahead, and they're of course all feeding off each other's DRS and feeding off Dralix, really, almost like as if they're leeching off him, if you will. And then you look behind and he's got 1.5 seconds to Felipe, so there's no chance of even catapulting each other towards that battle ahead. So he's very much in no man's land at the minute, but when the pit stops come, this could all change.
Certainly so. We've seen that this season. When pit stops happen, things go mental. Boris has got himself past Tebow. Tebow here not making his way through the field that strongly, which surprised me. GC's got off.
GC off.
I think he tried to make a move with LK. Yeah, I think he tried to make a move with LK, and LK weaving all over the track now. What the hell is up late with LK?
Well, GC was weaving, but Boris was trying to get alongside him, so it was very close to Boris just being sort of taken out by the Haas there.
Yeah, it wasn't alone though. LK was weaving just in front, so that's just... Was that supposed to be coordinated? I'm really confused. And then here goes Boris now. Look, is he making an overtake into the penultimate last corner? He is! Boris down the inside and gets through past GC. And Timor in the final corner. Playing back wheels. GC's trapping from him into the pit lane because Antoine and Bays, they're in pretty early as well. Side by side, it's turn 1 comes Timor and GC, and Timo goes with P8.
Wow. This league racing stuff, boring. Why do we watch it? That's sometimes the question. All contact there between KJ and Drylix coming out of turn 3. And you wonder now, is he going to come back and come down towards 4? Or even is Jolly going to tail the junior because KJ sort of backed off? Here they come down towards 4. KJ's on the outside, Drylix on the inside. Sort of had the room, but not really. And now coming up towards 5, and Drylix is very clearly struggling here. And this is the opportunity that KJ wants, really towards the outside at turn 5. Not going to be quite on just yet. And now it's a slide behind. Meanwhile, LK on them, of course, mediums going to feel a lot quicker than Felipe softs. So far, it's working out for the way. Let's see if Syrah comes in on this lap, because he just saw Amazed and the last was, I believe it was Antoine, come into the pits. So undercuts happening. KJ now comes in with Jolly and Drylix staying out.
Yeah, interesting. Crescito went on the hards. However, Amazed and Antoine both went on mediums. Is into the pit. Obviously, KJ now in. So he's undercutting Dralex. We'll see how strong the undercut is. I'm not really sure to most around this track.
Well, let's have a look at the gap, shall we? So the gap between Felipe and Amaze when they pit was about 1.5 seconds.
Antoine's in front! Antoine's in front by a mile!
Oh, he is? What's an outlap he has had? Boris gets past LK further up in the battle between the medium runners. KJ immediately passes Vivid, and that means there's now a car between him and Amazed. But yeah, that's an incredible move there by the Frenchman to pull off that undercut. He's absolutely timed that to a T in 1.2 seconds, and that makes you wonder, what about Dralex and Jolly? They're very much in the midst. LK drops 2 positions now as Tibor and Boris get past on this lap. LK potentially thinking about conservative race. Race leader, speaking of which, is into the pits on lap 11. His teammate pit first. He probably gave him the first call, mainly because he's in a battle. But Dralex and Jolly follow him behind. None of them get a pit lane limit of speed, which could potentially ruin someone's day. They're all on mediums. Let's see where they funnel out. Of course, Sirach going to lose the race lead. There goes GC as well. He's still out on them soft compound tyres. Where is Antoine? Coming towards turn 1. Where is Dralex and Jolly? Already he has gone past. So Antoine leads the train and has now got a fantastic opportunity. And KJ has undercut Dralex. So crucial news that he didn't even have to pass him on track. Despite Dralex clearly struggling on them softs, it's not worked out for him, and now his teammate is within firing range as well. Jolly falls back about 1.5 seconds at the moment. He's obviously had a poor pit stop as well. Meanwhile, the 2 Alphas side by side for the lead coming out towards turn 5. Both on mediums, both battling for position, both want to watch out for each other. Now coming up towards 6. Please don't come together. Now coming around the long sweep in turn 6, of course, is Tibble's official teammate. Boris, of course, just in reserve, filling in from also. Now coming up towards the penultimate corner. They are still squabbling away. Down towards 9. Tried to think about the inside line. Probably thought better of it. Probably think about conservative of teammates. Realistically, John Papp is round at the exit of turn 6. That is disaster for him. Gets himself back going again just about. And it's all kicking off all of a sudden, right before our very eyes. Boris has dropped it out of turn 1. Tibor on the inside. LK just managed to avoid him as well. Now coming on towards turn 3. Just about manages to keep his nose clean. Now coming up towards 3. And just about LK now ahead of Boris for a mistake from the reserve. It's well and truly kicking off. This stuff is boring. Why do we do this sometimes? And the 2 racing points have double stacked because John Papp needs a front wing change. The Ferrari Joseph engine, he's in a 15th at the moment. Might fall down further because the 2 Red Bulls are going towards the first corner. I don't think he will. But yeah, it's all kicking off. The medium runners squabbling away. Syrah got a few minutes of traffic coming on. He's got GC and the medium runners up the road. Antoine right behind Melanie. He's going to want to get past because he's got the 2.5 to KJ as the 2 Mercedes are right behind him as well with Dralex and Amaze. I mean, this is just absolute top quality entertainment, and I still don't know which way to turn, to be honest with you, just yet. Now coming up towards the penultimate corner. Antoine on the inside of Melanie, sorry, the outside of Melanie. Now comes to the final corner and passes him, ruthlessly taking advantage of that tyre advantage. Boris pits, GC pits. GC gets a 5-second penalty, and now we have a real good fight brewing here for potentially P3 between KJ, Dralex and Amazed.
In the most politest way possible, I'm going to ask you what's happened in the last couple of minutes while I've been gone.
Absolute pandemonium.
Oh.
That's the simple answer.
Right. Well, I can see that Amaze is now on the back of Dralex and, well, he's at the back of the train now. Antoine's now a net second. My head.
It just absolutely kicked off. It just became undercut OP all of a sudden.
Right. Well. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're stuck in one giant train at the moment.
Oh yeah, you say that, but here goes Melanie to the inside of the penultimate corner on KJ. KJ on the inside of Melanie through towards the penultimate corner. Now through towards the final corner. And the Finn going to give way, really, because of the tyre of disadvantage. And here comes Dralex as well. He's going to very much say, well, I'll have a piece of this at the moment because he's got DRS advantage. And I believe Amaze will probably fancy a pop as well. Coming through towards 1. Melanie lets the Canadian go. And the crucial fact is he's still within DRS of the Brit in the Williams. Now coming down towards turn 3. Amazed, the Scotsman ruthlessly takes P7. William managing trying to hold the outside, but not enough, and no real chance. And then Jolly a further second behind. He's dropping time, but his teammates doing a good job on the back of Tibor. And they've also got Syrah closing up. I'm sure Antoine would love a little bit of jiggery pokery here with them.
Well, certainly jiggery pokery.
Don't ask.
You know what? I'm not going to question it. Syrah is taking a lot of time out this to him from. I was interested by the earlier pit stop by some of these guys. You're possibly thinking that somebody might have to do a 2-stop with this early pit stop. Puncture territory is a genuine question around here.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. You know,
Also, Antoine's
a long way to go in this Grand Prix.
Oh, he had flagged second to his apex, and he's in the.
Oh
dear. The Season 1 champion, the winner of the Season 1 Austrian Grand Prix, has found the wall.
Yeah, Jolly passes Melanie as well. Bit of a weave there. I think that was almost a sign to say, go on, lad, you do your thing. I'm going to sit here behind. A bit of teamwork. But meanwhile, the Mercedes have got to worry about each other because they're chasing down KJ, and it's not as if they can share a podium. There's only one P3 on offer here at the moment, and I'm sure, given the fact that one of them's had to claw back from issues with lag and the other has had to continue to fight from the very beginning, they probably both feel like they deserve it.
You're thinking of championship context as well. Obviously, Mace is battling with Syrah. Drake's in the battle for 3rd place. Arguably, you want to have Drake's in front so he can overtake KJ to make sure that he holds on 3rd place in the championship. But also, the best possible solution if the Mercedes is amazed in front of both of them.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a difficult scenario, and I'm sure it's difficult for them. But at the moment, Dralex has been given the lead and currently still attacking KJ. And crucially, they are beginning to reel in ever so slightly. VSR Antoine, of course, that one lap undercut is going to start to make them feel the effects of the tyres, as the same with Amazed, and that might be potentially why Dralex are going to stay at the head, because he's got 2-lap advantage on his tyres, and that can be a fair bit when you get towards the puncture territory. It could mean the matter of all those 3-4 tenths of a lap, and because of how close these drivers were in qualifying, 3-4 tenths is going to be a lot of time. But at the moment, they're beginning to potentially form a 4-way Conga train.
Well, yeah. We'll see. We've already seen a lot of trains this afternoon. Of course, at the start we had that giant one. I mean, I don't think another one's not really going to go amiss. Mulder's just gotten packages of revenge as well. Mulder trying to recover from his excursions during the race. Gaining now on Drizzles down the inside. Pretty simple move there for the Red Bull. Gets himself through. Drizzles must hold on the outside. But not for much long. Mulder is comfortably through from the P14.
Yeah, the team that has only scored 1 point all season looks to be having another disastrous day. Is we have lost 2 drivers, one of them being LCR Apex and the other being a very early Blitzen DNF. But here comes Dralex, as you mentioned, coming out towards turn 3. Tries to put the outside line for the Canadian. Long way round, however, and that might mean it's just potential thinking about another move down towards turn 4. Gets the DRS open, but then again, so does KJ because he's stuck within DRS of Antoine, and they are closing up. But here comes Dralex thinking about the inside line. KJ broke late, very much wide to that one, and now KJ's in the firing line of Antoine. This is getting a bit like a mess.
An accident here for any of these drivers could have massive championship complications. And I'm not sitting here and doing the maths.
Nor am I, but meanwhile, Syrah now on the back of LK for P2, of course. In fact, really for P1, because Syrah has absolutely pulled miles ahead of the field, 5.4 seconds around this circuit. And you consider there's then a second train almost between potentially 5 guys, because Jolly is reeling in that second margin as well. And you've got Felipe on the 3 seconds back. So it goes to show how many people are in contention. And as you mentioned, Ben, penalties could really pay anyone dividends around here. One penalty could be the difference so far between 3rd and 7th.
Oh! The two Mercedes hit each other. Amazement into the back of Dralex at the hairpin. Tied a front wing. If that had been, if this had realistic contact, that would have been a punch for Dralex almost certainly. So close.
Take a deep breath, lads. We could be about to see some more teammate conflict. One that immediately springs to mind for me was Season 5 between the two Renault drivers, Kingsley and Boris back then. Nowadays there's a bit more change between teammates, and so far teammates have behaved well. But here in Austria, the two Mercedes might have had a bit of a ding-dong after that bit of contact, or maybe it was just accidental because Amaze has dropped back a little bit, but also KJ's dropped a little bit back to Antoine as well, and he's almost outside that second window. And that second window is almost like a matter between victory and defeat around here. You could be as close as you want to someone, really, but if you're outside of that second, there's no point really trying.
That's the most simple way you can put it, really. The second you lose DRS around the circuit, it's heartbreaking almost in a sense, because you're pretty much not going to catch the guy at that point unless they make a mistake. And one thing we've learned from this quality of drivers is not to expect mistakes. Boris and Suzuki Cruzito down at the hairpin, they bang wheels. Syra picks the penalty. Just to know, Antoine, KJ both had penalties. Neither Mercedes doesn't.
Oh, that could be huge as well. And Jolly also at the back of that, so there's another one to consider. But Boris gets past Cruzito just about through towards turn 4. It was a bit of a wheel banging incident there between them at 3, and then finally does, but also as well on that lap, Syra gets past Tibor. But yeah, another penalty there for Antoine. They need to rack up.
This is not good for the Frenchman. He'll need to start being a little bit more cautious. I said at the beginning, 69 seconds. 69 seconds, of course, that's not... Well, that's pretty much... I mean, right now, say Antoine... Say none of the penalties counted, Antoine would fall from a provisional 2nd to 6th, maybe 7th, depending on Felipe.
Here comes Dralex. Goes to the outside of KJ, coming towards turn 4, around the outside again. Couldn't quite get the way past. John Pat leaves the session. They're still battling on between Cruzito and Boris. But here comes Dralex, trying to find a space at turn 5. KJ took the racing line and squeezed him onto the grass just that ever so much, but the switchback could be on now, coming down towards turn 6 on the inside line. Is he going to get past? Now coming up towards 7, not just yet. Has to slot in behind. Probably thought better of it through that section, but all this is just feeding the fire of Amaze and Jolly behind and Antoine ahead.
It's only a matter of time, really, I think, before Dralex gets past KJ. He certainly seems faster at the moment. He's falling a little bit further back, though. And Amaze almost buried himself now behind his teammate.
I think so as well, and here comes Amaze on Dralex going on towards 3, picks the inside line, teammates side by side, and he does indeed let him go. So now it's his turn under the scrap.
Off.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, GC was off. Mulder had to take a massive avoiding action. It's a good job Mulder's race suit is like is dark bluey, because that, well, it would be brown. So much, jeez.
Not the ideal debut for the Dutchman either, but still plenty of way to go. We've only just about crossed the halfway mark. We've still got a few medium runners left to pit. One of them being Tibor, the other being LK. Speaking level, he comes in now. McLaren pits, and that really reprieves Antoine of the fear of having some traffic to deal with, one Frenchman to the other. Meanwhile, now as you can see, Dralex is very much sitting to the back of his teammate here, maybe trying to prove a point that he had a good chance of attacking KJ, and if he ain't going to get a move on, they want that position back.
Maybe that's just under a gentleman's agreement.
As I say that, Jolly's got a good exit. Coming out towards 3, he's on the outside line of the Canadian, tries to barge his way through pretty much on a brake as late as he could. Couldn't quite get the way past, now coming towards turn 4. They are closing that a little bit, but also here comes Amaze on KJ. Is he close enough? He's not. Is Jolly going to be close enough? He does pop out to the inside, but the Canadian was far too late on the brake for that one. You've got to catch him very much on an off day to pass Dralex like that.
Dralex is definitely one of the best late breakers we've got in LCR.
I have to completely agree with that statement as well. And of course, you know, so far it looks to be good for the two Mercedes. As into the pits comes Tibor, which does reprieve everyone. We officially now can have a race order really at the moment. So, as you can see, so Cyril leads, Antoine in second, KJ will be third, Mays 4th, Dralek 5th, Jolly 6th. Vito Felipe will be 7th, and Boris Letterbox potentially be 8th, depending on who comes out with regards to his teammate. I don't think he actually will come out ahead of him. Let's see. Just crossed the pit line now. LK now at the back of this train, with Crescito and Boris still squabbling away for position. And Tibor has come out about 5 seconds behind Crescito. And on them softs, with these lot battling, he's not out of the question for a podium.
Well, he's got to clear Felipe, and then there's nearly 5 seconds from Felipe. It's about 10 seconds he's got to catch. Oh my god, right.
What is going on here?
Boris, LK, Shazoo, Crescito, they're all 3 wide now. Heading 3 wide, 3 different tyres. All side by side. Pardon me. They make contact there. Boris and LK gets 2 for the price of 1. Squabble! And into the wall goes Crescito.
Oh dear. That is just not how you envision that
battle
going
Mulder and
into
Melody.
the wall.
Going into the same corner, sorry to question their drag. They make contact.
Oh,
Melody turns to the Mulder. And Mulder is now around. 2 accidents in the space of 2 in the same corner on the same lap. Not good there.
And here come the leaders, and Mays is going to try and find my pass to KJ. Goes to the outside because KJ went defensive on the inside. Bit of contact between the two. Has now come up towards 3. Has in the end slot out and think better of it, and couldn't quite get away past again. KJ holds off and hangs in there to hold on to P3, but into the pits comes Rosito on the front wing. In fact, out he goes of the Grand Prix with no front wing, and the end of his day.
I think that's a pure rage moment. I don't think it was anybody's fault. I just think it was 3 cars going to a corner that shouldn't have 3 cars going into it.
And that's a good way to put it, really. It just didn't quite work out how they would have wanted it to. Lap 25 of 36, 11 laps to go. Could you believe already we've got just about 11 laps to go? I most certainly cannot.
Oh no.
It's been absolutely non-stop, this Grand Prix. KJ now has DRS still on Antoine, but interesting, Antoine had DRS in that lap because of John Pap's AI, so that's done him a bit of a favour. Made him have that DRS for out of turn 1 and also, of course, out of turn 10, so 2 DRS back to back, which just about maintains the gap. In terms of penalties, by the way, let's have another look at the time penalties just so everyone is clear. So as we saw earlier, 2 penalties for Antoine, penalty for KJ, still nothing, in fact, not even a warning for Amaze. Dralex has just 1 warning, and Jolly has 2 warnings. So, at the moment, the final order will be Amaze 2nd, Dralex 3rd, Jolly 4th. Oh, Amaze off! Amaze has gone deep at turn 5, and his teammate ruthlessly takes it away.
He stole that like he was stealing a child off the street. That's ridiculous.
Oh, there's a red ball off, sorry, as well at turn 10, and it's at Mulder.
Oh, how's he ended up out there? How has Mulder ended up out there? He's built his tyres 20 laps as well, more. Don't get me wrong, it's... They're the hard tyres, but he's got about a slot to join onto the track. Sarah, by the way, she's casually got a 9-second lead.
Yeah, with also a 3-second penalty advantage on Antoine.
Yeah. I think he's just having a chill. Is Sarah. To be fair, who can blame him?
I mean, his form this season, to put it in perspective, he hasn't finished if he has met the checkered flag outside of P1. So, I mean, come on, really?
One bit of F1 trivia for that. There is actually, in real life, there's actually a driver who's matched Jimmy Clark when he won the 19...
Really?
Yes, when he won the 1963 Drivers' World Championship. Every race that was officially classified that season, he either won or DNF'd. You know, something new every day.
Okay, that's every day's a school day sometimes. Well,
whoa, Dralex!
You never know.
Oh, dearie me. I saw Bob Dralex there, and he knew it to Nadia.
Oh dear. Meanwhile, KJ is getting a bit close to the back of Antoine. Right at turn 3, it was a good exit from the Williams driver. And this could be an opportunity for a pop here, down towards 4, and really steal that P2 back. Down the inside goes the Williams. He's able to hold it through towards turn 4, just about Antoine on the outside. Swoops around. But that was a real knock on the door there from KJ, and it was just a few misplaced corners from the Frenchman, and the Williams was right on top of him.
A little gentle jab in the face. I've got a feeling we'll see some more harder body shots in a bit.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's a very good way of describing it.
Spielberg came
still this. Oh, okay, I'll give you credit. All right. Okay. I'm glad you take the credit for that. 5-car trade from 2nd down to 6th, still rampages on as we get towards lap 30 and begin to wonder what about desperate moves. And Jolly just got a free, and that's just ruined my next point, because my next point was going to be, with Jolly knowing the 2 ahead don't have penalties, would it be time to attack to secure that podium? Speaking of which, it is time to attack for KJ on the inside line, down towards turn 3. Is he going to get past Antoine? Just about Antoine trying to hang in there. Here comes Dralex as well, trying to take advantage. No DRS for Antoine, so it's the slipstream advantage for him. Outside line for Antoine under the brakes as Dralex sort of boxed in because of KJ. Potentially free wide on the exit of turn 4. Now coming up towards 5. Still on the inside is the Haas trying to get better position. He just lost. Dralex trying to find a way down the middle. Couldn't quite. Antoine might still hold it on the inside towards 6. He can't quite. KJ gets past, and finally the Haas has been defeated, but for how long? Up towards the penultimate corner. Amazed is getting closer to Dralex. He couldn't quite, and the 2 VSR lads are now together on track. My oh my, what an Austrian Grand Prix.
The thing is, towards the back of that as well, Jolly was having a go at Amazed. It's back all the way back at turn 3. Back into turn 1, now they go. KJ gets a little bit loose, and now Antoine putting the pressure on. He finally gets the sweet release, having a little bit of DRS, but he barely has an ERS. Here comes Dralex down the inside of Antoine. Is Antoine about to fall? Look at Mace on the outside of him. They make contact. The 2 VSR lads come together. Dralex loses out to his teammate, and will Jolly smell a double? We shall see. It's my turn this time. Oh. Dralex lay on the brakes of his teammate.
Kick it off.
You don't do that, right? Nearly. And oh, Jolly gets absolutely chopped by Dralex. And we nearly had the absolute mother of all accidents.
There's still the driver's rampage on, and look who's 2.5 seconds behind. ERL
Hello.
He's only 2.5 seconds behind this battle, so it's still rampaging on. These drivers have got to worry about their times as well, because as you can see, Amazing Antoine are just about to cross lap 21 on that set, and also you've got ERL Tibor raging up the back of this train. I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is absolutely mesmerising stuff. But the drivers have got to focus on one thing, and that's leaving the train at the end of lap 36. Here comes Antoine on KJ. Round 14 this could be. Gonna pick the inside as he just about tries to think about it. Does put his nose in, but here comes Amazed on the outside of Antoine. Up towards 3. Sensed the opportunity of a sort of cautious Frenchman, but the Scotsman couldn't take advantage. Now here comes his teammate on the outside. Contact between the 2 Mercedes just out of the brakes. Antoine now down the inside of KJ. Gets the switch back. Then just about KJ holds on, but now the 2 Mercedes still squabbling away on track. Now down towards turn 5, just about Amazed holds on, KJ holds on, and by the grit of their teeth, they still remain as they are.
Applaud them, men! Applaud them! This has been absolutely phenomenal. As Tibor is now nearly within a second of them. Look how close Jolly is to the back of Dralex. He's practically sniffing the electricity. No, that's not possible. Shut up. Jolly is like goes out towards
1. Oh, I can't say. That was amazing in the back of KJ. Antoine lose the rear end. KJ goes back to the outside. Dralex. Oh, Dralex in the wall.
Amazing is over the wall. How? What? I don't even know what happened there. It doesn't matter. KJ and Antoine still side by side. Amazed, this championship prize before him. KJ and Antoine side by side. KJ's head for now. Antoine lay on the brakes. Look at Timo. Look at Timo's here. Jolly's lost out a lot. I think it was Jolly and Amazed who came together. Here comes Timo around the outside of Dralex. I am now. Sims is retired I'll be honest, I didn't even know he was still racing.
Antoine
goes off! Antoine's off in the wall! Antoine's on the wall! And Timo! ERL Timo from 15th on the 15th on the grid is now in 3rd place. Oh, my voice really hurts.
Book your tickets, lads. It's going to be a hell of a season 8. Down towards turn 1. Timo's now on the back of KJ. The battle still rampages on. And now coming up towards turn 3. Timo is closing and closing on the Williams and senses P2. Peeks out the right. Down the inside goes the Alfa Romeo and squeezes and manages to get past. DRS advantage though. Still in the favour of KJ. Has he got enough left to fight down towards turn 4? No, he has not. So ERL Tibor, from one of the most disastrous qualifyings of the season, is now into 2nd place, and still the battle between medium runners of conservation and pushing like hell is still being fought out.
Oh, this isn't over. Timo has 9 seconds.
Oh my.
This isn't over, ladies and gentlemen. And the thing is, well, he needs to pull a second now so he can bolt. You know these guys behind. You know KJ, Dralix, Jolly, they're all going to be battling it out. Felipe as well. Look at Felipe. He's coming up on these guys now. What was he? Nearly 7 seconds back at one point? This is ridiculous.
Yes. I know. This is absolutely heart in your mouth stuff. This is the exact reason why we enjoy league racing from time to time. For spectacles like this. Amazed has just pit and come out on the soft tyres down in 10th and on the back of Melanie as well. We did lose Sims about all that melee that we had early on. But here comes KJ potentially back on Tibor, and you have to wonder, yes,
Amazed at Melanie! Oh, dearie me. Amazed has stayed out, probably just doesn't want to pick, so he'll lose too much time. Wait, how the... Wait, did Antoine get involved? Oh, Antoine has to make a pit stop. We didn't even notice that. Antoine is now out of the points, and he's battling Shazoo Vivid on the inside of the hairpin. They make contact. Antoine with fresher tyres gets the position.
Oh my goodness me. So Cyril ends up an lap. He's 14.3 seconds clear at the front, and no surprise why really, because it's been one of them Grand Prix. But again, Dralix, KJ and Jolly still within an arm's reach of one another. And I have to say, Jolly's been involved in this battle, but it's probably been the quietest man as possible. He has been absolutely deathly silent.
So far, Dralix is getting second. I've just looked at penalties. Dralix is set for 2nd place.
It will be third. KJ?
Yes. Amazing, love the session. His race is completely damaged. It won't be.
Cyril gets another time penalty.
It doesn't matter.
He's only got. He's 14 seconds clear, and he's further. Well, no, 3 second advantage on Tibor. The only man who's got 6 seconds to worry about is Dralix. He still hasn't got a penalty. Jolly's still within arm's reach as well. But final lap time, can you believe it? And Cyril's on his way to claiming victory number 5 after pole position number 4. It's going to be another pole and win going his way, and he has had the quietest race of all season.
I don't know. He had one earlier on in the season, round 3 at it was China. But to be honest, just nothing happened for him. He was so dominant that weekend. Picking up the LCR Grand Slam. I'm pretty sure he's got LCR Grand Slam this weekend. But don't quote me on that. It's close. KJ gets defensive from Dralix. Dralix, to be honest, he just has to sit here. At the moment, he's set for that P2. Jolly, I think, is going to get P... I think it's P3. Yeah, P3 is going to go to KJ. And then Jolly, then Tibor, then Felipe. Felipe's nearly in what's necessary. KJ gets close to the back of Tibor. I think we're going to have to cut to Syra, though, unfortunately. I'll keep you updated. You can show Syra winning.
It's been a dominant display from lap 1 to lap 36. All the carnage behind him doesn't matter nevertheless. Another 25 points for the champion of BRL Cyril wins the Austrian Grand Prix. And what's going on behind?
It's calm so far. I think it's going to stay as it is. There's a Ferrari just chilling. I guess KJ, it's going to be Timo across the line second, but P2 will go to the Canadians. Dralix, KJ P3, Johnny P4, Timo P5, Felipe P6. He had probably both Brazilians were extremely quiet. LK P7, over the line. His tyre's slightly been hit by a boss.